Do people even see your photo? Do you wonder why you're losing engagement in your stories? Or maybe you've been posting consistently lately, but you've seen the numbers drop? Or maybe you're wondering, has the algorithm changed again? Do I need to switch up my hashtags? Am I using the right hashtags? All those questions. Stick around because in this video, we're gonna talk about the latest Instagram update and how the algorithm has changed and how it's actually there to benefit you. Hey guys, and welcome back. And I'm your host, Jen Morilla, and this YouTube channel is for entrepreneurs, coaches, bloggers, and content creators. Whew, that's a mouthful. Okay. I'm excited that you guys are here today because we're going to talk about the most recent Instagram update. It is November 15th, 2020. And Instagram recently released a new update where the interface is completely different and they've updated the algorithm again. This is the thing though, you guys, like the algorithm is always getting updated. So every time they announce that they've updated again, it's annoying because their algorithm is constantly changing. It evolves based on your behavior. And what I mean by that is every single algorithm feed is completely different from the next guy. You and your best friend could follow the exact same person, but the feed will look completely different. Like it literally is a fact. It's based on your behavior. That's how the algorithm manages your Instagram feed. It's based on your behavior. So anyways, we're gonna dive into this algorithm change that now happens and why you're seeing the likes drop and the engagement drop a little bit. It's getting harder, right? And we're gonna answer the question if Reels are more significant and are pushing more than like regular posts and IGTV and all the things that we're gonna get into. A shit ton of notes that I took for you guys, but I'm very excited to dive in. So the first thing I want to call attention to is the fact that Instagram is meant for engagement, right? Like social media is meant to connect with people all over the world. That is the point of why Instagram was created, is to be social, to meet people from all over the world. You can be in New York and you can be talking to somebody in Italy, or you can be talking to somebody in France or Japan or China, wherever, it doesn't matter. That is the point of social media, is to connect people, right? And so the reason why it's really important to get to know the algorithm is so that when you create content, you are serving the algorithm. Basically, what I mean is if you know that the algorithm is looking for, let's just say, for example, like a certain color blue in your feed, then you know because it's looking for it, you should probably take photos with blue in them because the algorithm will pull that and then it'll show more of your content to other people. Does that make sense? That also brings me to the reason why Instagram Reels came out, and that was like such a blowout and it was so awesome. And I was telling everybody jump on that bandwagon real quick, was because it was a new feature, and anything new that Instagram comes out with makes it so much easier for people to get noticed, to go viral, to get pushed out that content, right? You can also check out this video here where I actually talk about more about Instagram Reels and what my predictions are about it. And so far, I'm pretty accurate, so I'm just saying. So the Instagram algorithm, it's actually changed in mid-October, end of October. It depends on where you are, right? So I'm in New York City right now, and just a couple of days ago, my interface changed, and it was like so freaking weird. Gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of the interface at all. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. So this is your feed. The search button is still where the search is, but we used to have in the middle where you post. Now it's where you have Reels. And then the second one to the right, you have shopping. That is, I mean, guys, let's be real. How does Instagram monetize? They monetize through sponsored ads and how much money they make off vendors on Instagram. And if their audience, if your audience is on Instagram and you're not using Instagram as a platform to sell, you're messing up. I'm just saying. And then you go to your regular feed, right? So the way you post now, and it literally took me like 5 minutes to figure this out, but it's like the way you post now is on the top right-hand corner, there is the plus sign, and that takes you to the feed, right? And then if you want to do stories, you go to stories right here. Hi, how are you? Okay. My lip. And if you want to do a reel, you just go to Reels and it goes there, or you click on the live and you can go live. Okay, so that's how the interface has changed. The thing to really remember, again, is that the point of Instagram is to keep people on the platform. And how does the algorithm work? Well, how does Instagram work in general? It monetizes off platforms, right? So companies spend money on sponsorships, like sponsored posts and things like that, and people that have shops on Instagram that make money through Instagram. We know the context of Instagram. We know the skeleton of how essentially it works. So it wants people to stay on the platforms to be able to shop, to be able to engage, to be able to get those ads, to collect more data so that they can essentially, and I hate to say this, they know what companies need in order to sell to you. Don't know what I'm talking about? Check out The Social Dilemma. But anyways, it's just basic marketing. Like, it's a fun fact. If you don't know it, you should. The other day, I recently came across this post here where it's telling you that the algorithm is asking you to do 4 things. And you have 1 is to save a post, and that's like a super like. 2 is to share a post. 3 is to comment, and 4 is to actually like. So it's funny that like is the 4th step to do. Now let's be clear that in order for you to build engagement, you have to complete these 4 things on a post in this order. And I'll get to that in a little bit, but I just want to call out like what used to be so important, like how many likes you had and all the things. And it's funny that now it's the last step, because in some countries around the world, you actually don't see how many likes people have. So it's really changing the way Instagram is utilizing likes and what that really means for content creators and influencers and all those people. Okay, so let's break down all the steps. Why are they asking you to save a post first? Well, actually, time out. Let's pause. When you're scrolling through Instagram, a lot of what we do is human behavior. We just scroll and we like. A lot of the times we don't even realize that we've liked before, right? And Instagram kind of wants to stop this. Instagram algorithm is able to pick up when you're just liking to like, or you're actually liking because you're engaging with the comment based on how much time you spend on the post. Guys, I tell you, it's really freaky. So if you're on the post for more than 15 seconds, you are officially engaged in that post, right? So a lot of the times, the way the algorithm will pick up that it's a good post, if somebody stays, if they're reading it, they like it, they comment, they save it for later to continue reading, and or they share it because it's viable content. I think that's the most important thing for you guys to recognize, that the game of Instagram has changed. Yes, you can post things just to post, but there's no validation in that, and it's not really gonna work because people want to see quality content. The reason why those steps are so important is because it breaks down from the algorithm's perspective how much engagement you're actually putting into that post. You get to a post, you're on a post. What's the first thing you do? You save it. Now, you save it into a folder, and I should probably do a video on that actually. And then it's like, boom, okay, great. What do you do next? You share it. And I think this is the most important in my opinion, and I'll get to that in a second, right? So you share it in your stories, you send it to people in the DMs. I do that all the time. I send posts to my friends all the time, like something that we talked about, and then it just happens to be in my feed, right? And the third thing you do is you comment. And there is something really important to consider here. The algorithm picks up on the depth of the comment. What I mean is we still have bots in the system that'll like post hearts or post like great picture or, you know, nice flowers or whatever. It's just like very generic words, right? Or they have the emojis where it's like, you know, the little heart and the smiley face or whatever. There is no depth in that comment, right? A lot of the times, the most important thing is for you to actually write a response to the question that the person is asking. In this video here, I actually talk about Instagram and how to grow, and I share some hacks on how to do that. But to not make this video too long, just so that you guys know, you wanna respond with quality responses. So take the time out to actually get engaged with the comment. Maybe ask another question and get it back. And again, not only does this work for your own profile and your own posts, but for other people's posts too. Remember, we now know that the point of Instagram is to keep people on the platform so that when brands come to sell or utilize Instagram, because that's how Instagram makes money, they have enough data to prove that you as a human being like all these things and you spend this much time on social media. So now that we know that that is the point of Instagram, we want to kind of help them out, and that's what the algorithm is trying to do. Last but not least is the like. Yeah, go ahead, like the page, like fine. But remember, be intentional. That is the key. You want to be intentional. I still think that reels are super powerful, and if you're posting reels, you are likely to get more engagement, but because people are really starting to utilize reels already and it's almost becoming a little, I hate to use that word, like saturated. It's becoming a little saturated, you need to get super creative. I always say this to my clients, my students, is like, you wanna post and you wanna create an experience. So try not to be like everybody else, try not to do the exact same reels that anybody else is doing, try to really do something different. Like, it's an opportunity for you to have fun with Instagram, and I find that when you have fun with Instagram, it really changes the game. I also understand that you have a business and you don't have time to have fun. Sometimes you just have to post. So keep in mind that all these tips and tricks and everything that I'm telling you guys on this video is really important, and you're not gonna see the change right away. You might not see the change with all your posts. You may see them with some and the other, but it's really important to monitor that and pay attention to what your audience is actually paying attention to, what you're doing better in versus less in. All that stuff, being innovative, doing that research is really important when you have a business and you're trying to grow it online, okay? So all in all, the most important thing that you want to consider when you are posting moving forward is, what am I creating that's going to make people want to share? This is why I said earlier that the sharing is the most important, the saving is the most important, because that tells me that if somebody is saving my post, it's the quality of my content, and maybe they're not reading all of it right now, but they're saving it for later and they're gonna go back. So long form content is really great and I enjoy it. I actually write a lot of long form content. You want people to share your content, and not just like actually share it, but enough to like spark a conversation so that maybe they write their own context about it, right? And so you have to ask yourself, what am I creating that people actually want to see, that people actually want to share? Share is the keyword, right? And this is where I'm saying that you're gonna test things, you're gonna see how things innovate and like what topics your audience really likes and doesn't like and all this stuff. I recommend you guys do it, but Instagram is basically asking for more depth. Way more engagement, way more depth. Pretty photos aren't gonna do it anymore. It is obviously the start of what gets your audience and it is very important, but the quality of the content, the experience that you're invoking is the key, right? You wanna keep people on your post for at least 15 to 20 seconds. They wanna read it, they wanna like it, they wanna comment, they wanna save it, and they definitely wanna share it. So that's what you have to keep in mind. Which brings me to the very last thing you wanna ask yourself. What is my intention for this post? Guys, I think that when I started asking myself that, it changed the game for me. When I write or when I post anything on social media, I ask myself, one, what is the intention behind this post? Meaning, what do I want people to actually walk away with? And what's the call to action that I want them to do? Whether it's sending them to a masterclass or sending them to a product, or just asking them to comment and engage below. And what's the feeling I want to invoke? Because I want people to read something and make sure that it's still on brand, that it's still me, that they're like, wow, I got Jen just from a picture. I got Jen just from this reel, right? Again, Instagram wants to keep you on the platform. So regardless of how many times the algorithm changes, that is the #1 most important thing about Instagram, is to keep you on the platform, you guys. Its main goal will continue to get to know you more and more and more, better and better and better, so it's collecting enough data to continue keeping you on the platform, right? Because that's kind of the end game. All right, you guys, I hope this is super helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Shoot me a DM on Instagram here. I'm always answering my DMs. Let me know what you guys think about this video. If you have questions about the algorithm, I'll try to answer it as best as I can. I'm not a tech whiz, but I do know enough to know. I am a marketing whiz, though, I will say that, and I do know enough to know that this is why the platform exists and the whole point of Instagram is behind this. So again, when you flip that and you start thinking from the business perspective of what your audience needs and how you need to keep them on there, it really changes the way you up your game. So it's all about the quality, baby. I'm just saying. All right, you guys, I'll see you guys soon. Again, if you like this, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I drop these videos once a week, every week. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.